morning, Long Island. Good morning, good morning, good morning on this Thanksgiving Eve. It is a very, very cold. I know a lot of people are not excited about that. It is a very, very cold morning here in Long Island, New York, broadcasting live, very live. The livest live stream, quite frankly, in the history of live stream. Broadcasting live from the America First Media Campus. This is episode 30 of We Will Not Comply. We got a bonus episode coming out for you this afternoon. It's going to be our interview with a United States Marine and active duty United States Marine, Jordan Verteber. It's going to be great. We're going to be putting that up, this evening as some bonus content going into the Thanksgiving holiday, because obviously we, the loud majority, myself, everybody involved in the team, and all of our supporters, really, we are all very supportive of our veterans and active duty military. So we will be putting up that video. It's an interview with United States Marine Jordan Verteber. It's a great interview. We're going to be putting that up later tonight. Remember, folks, to please go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority. Subscribe, share the video links from there. We're just trying to establish a presence everywhere before we wind up getting shut down, obviously. Head over to loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Head over to the store. We got these shirts over there. They're great. They're flying out. These are good shirts. A lot of people like them. And also head over to our podcast. Just so you know, this is uploaded every day as an audio podcast, okay? It's uploaded. If you search We Will Not Comply, it's uploaded as an audio podcast every single day, all right? So if you didn't know that, that's where it is. So get on over there on audio. Look up We Will Not Comply. It's the only one called We Will Not Comply. Nobody else has a cool name like ours. And you can go ahead and subscribe to that. Our newsletter gives you the stream information and the notes every single day that we do a show. So please do that. LoudMajorityUS.com. Head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority, and head over to our website and our podcast. It's an audio podcast. As you know, We Will Not Comply. Thank you guys so much. I wanted to get that out of the way. And we're pretty fired up. I got some information that we're going to chat about today. We have some, obviously, the Waukesha incident in Wisconsin. And I know I said this on Monday, and I don't want to give off the wrong vibe about how I feel about this. I don't want to give up the wrong vibe at all. But I know I said this on Monday that I don't want to bring up race when we talk about these issues. It's not that I don't want to talk about the fact that Darrell Brooks Jr., this criminal, the attacker in the Waukesha incident, attacker. Okay. It's not that I don't want to bring up the fact that he looks to be an anti-white terrorist, really. And he made all sorts of extremist posts on social media. It's not that I don't want to do that. It's that seconds after an incident happens, this is what America tends to do, and I don't like this. Okay? Seconds after an incident happens, we look and see what color the attacker was, what political party they may have shown allegiance to, right? All this stuff that really is irrelevant to what happened. Not totally irrelevant, but irrelevant to an extent. When you have people who died, and one of them is a child, and a couple of them are elderly folks, and when that's the case, we need to put all of those things on hold. When that's the case, we, the good people in media, that's us, we, the good people in media, need to slam on the brakes and tell everybody to hold on, cool it for a second. We don't need to be like them. And that's what I meant on Monday when I said, and I'm not saying anyone was even mad about that. I don't think anybody was upset about it. But on Monday, I had said the same thing. I had said, maybe we don't want to politicize this. We don't want to jump to color. Maybe that's not what we want to do. And it's never what I want to do. So seconds after an event happens, I'm not looking for those things to talk about. I'm looking to see if people are okay. And, and if, casualties and all of those different things, looking to get the the real-time facts, and then we go into the fact that Darrell Brooks Jr. seems to be a racist. Yes, you can be racist against white people, but he seems to be a racist, an extremist, and this looks like it was an intentional act. As the police department out there in Waukesha said that there was no pursuit prior to him turning down this block. So there was a story, that had said he was fleeing another crime and happened to turn left and he wound up in this parade. That's been debunked by local police. So this now looks like an intentional act of murder. I would call it an act of terrorism. Whether the media and the justice system is going to treat it like that remains to be seen. Well, one thing I could tell you that the media did. That the media did do is they treated this case a heck of a lot more. They treated this a lot differently than they treated Rittenhouse. Right? Rittenhouse had been done shooting the pedophile 5 minutes. Then the gun was still smoking. And they go, you know why he shot Rosenbaum? Because he's a racist. You know why he shot Gage Grosskreutz? Because he's a racist. I want you to notice something. I want you to notice a game that the media was trying to play with the Rittenhouse story. You guys ready for this? You guys ready for this? The Rittenhouse coverage from the media, the Rittenhouse coverage was a rush to judgment all around, right? When you look at it, it was a rush to judgment all the way around. How did they describe Rosenbaum and Huber and Grosskreutz, the people that Kyle Rittenhouse had to shoot to stay alive? How did the media describe them? Think. Did the media say that Kyle Rittenhouse shot rioters? Did the media say that Kyle Rittenhouse shot violent demonstrators? Did the media say that Kyle Rittenhouse shot criminals? Somebody as brutal and disgusting a criminal as Rosenbaum? Did the media make mention of any of that? Of course not. They referred to Huber and Grosskreutz and Rosenbaum as Black Lives Matter protesters. Now, why would they refer to 3 white, quote unquote, victims? Why would they refer to these white people as Black Lives Matter protesters? Think. Let's see if the chat, this is going to be a lot of chat today. Why would they refer to 3, 4, 5, however many was people who got shot as Black Lives Matter protesters if they're white? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because if you're not, here's the answer. You ready? Because if you're not paying attention, and there are a lot of Americans out there who watch the media, they watch all these things, they get their news from CNN, MSNBC, I feel bad for these people. Some of them do it because it's what they want to hear. Some of them do it because it's what they think is true. But why would they refer to these people as Black Lives Matter protesters if they're white? Because it makes, what it does is it gives the impression that Kyle Rittenhouse shot black people. Don't you see? By calling the 3 people that he shot Black Lives Matter protesters and not rioters or looters or criminals or violent demonstrators, by calling them Black Lives Matter protesters, it gives the impression that they were black. It makes it easier to say Rittenhouse shot Black Lives Matter protesters. It makes it easier to say Rittenhouse killed Black Lives Matter protesters, and then to draw that false equivalence that because he shot Black Lives Matter protesters, he must be a racist. Because the people, so by labeling Huber and Grosskreutz and Rosenbaum Black Lives Matter protesters, what the media was able to do is they were able to frame this as a racial attack when it was really a white person defending himself against other white people, and he killed the white people so that he survived. But by labeling them Black Lives Matter protesters, it was an easier way for the media to come right out and make this a race issue when it wasn't. And this is the game that they play all over the place, using words like diversity and equity and inclusion, right? These are all words that sound nice, where if you take a stand against them, you're evil. You're a terrible person. You're worse than Anthony Fauci. And Anthony Fauci, I mean, this is Senator Paul. You know, I watched a lot of Rand Paul yesterday. I did. And whoops. I watched a lot of Rand Paul yesterday. You know, if he's going to be dishonest, he ought to be challenged. Well, I mean, listen, talk about a hurricane. You know, you ever hear the Scorpions? Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. What's talk about a hurricane? Well, it's a. Can we get those before we? There he is. As you brought them. Hey. Well, better late than never. Say hi. Wait. Say hi.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was you know, sometimes it happens. Yeah, just didn't wake up this morning.
It was called.
But you couldn't be, honestly, man. You couldn't be more right. It
was called that. Wait, we have to call this an alarm malfunction. An alarm malfunction.
An alarm malfunction, and by that I mean I continued to turn off my alarm.
I did the same thing.
I was a
king.
I just kept hitting snooze, and then I looked up, and it was 20-7, and I went, "Huh? I did it again."
Yeah,
It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Crap's got to go.
If I continued to hit snooze one more time, I wouldn't be here.
But I will say that the way you were describing it, how the media has to portray a certain sort of narrative. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was the UK Sun, in describing the Rittenhouse case, was talking about that these protests were inspired by the killing of a black man, Jacob Blake. In case anyone doesn't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jacob Blake
is alive.
He is not dead.
Bongino said something funny about that. He said he was like, well, that's really funny because I think Jacob Blake could tell you that he's not dead because he's alive.
He's alive. He's alive. And NBC News did it.
Oh, they all did it.
They keep saying Jalen Rose, you know, the NBA analyst, the guy who couldn't win in the Final Four because Chris Webber decided to call a timeout when he didn't have any. You know, the Fab Five, they called them. He said it 3 days ago, the killing of a black man. Jacob Blake is not dead.
Yeah, Jacob Blake's not dead.
Which tells you that their narrative can only work if black people die. That's how brittle these stories are. It's just the top part.
That's fine.
And it's wild that people won't even do the basic. I mean, the guy was interviewed in a wheelchair.
Jacob Blake.
By the Today Show.
Not dead.
By Good Morning America. By our phenomenal reporters out there. Two athletes and a midget. Robin Roberts, Michael Strahan, and George Stephanopoulos.
Michael Strahan's going to space. Did you hear? He's going to be the next one on that Jeff Bezos rocket that looks really silly, like a silly thing.
What they need to do is put that rocket in the gap in his teeth.
He's going up in space in the flying Schwantz. You know what I'm saying? It's a disgusting
first
thing.
off, we need to have a conversation here.
Well, what happened?
I knew I was going to be late this morning.
Yes.
So last night.
Oh, don't bring it up.
We were here.
Don't even do it.
And
I'll go over there and show everybody how much coffee you put in that thing.
I pre-made the coffee.
All right, that's enough.
And Sean took out some of the coffee because he doesn't like his coffee too strong.
It's not that it's too strong.
Oh, Captain Deplorable can't have strong coffee. So he took out some of the grounds, and now I'm drinking flavored water.
Now, do you see how you made that? That isn't light and sweet. That's barely alive. What is that? Look, I drink my coffee black because I'm not a racist. So I have it black here. Your coffee is like lighter than me, and I'm about as white as it gets.
That's because you took the grounds out.
That's not because I took the grounds. That's because you put half and half in there. Half of the half and half is quarter and half.
If anyone is curious, I have proof of this from the sassiest person alive. She will tell you. Sean took some of the grounds out.
I did take the grounds out because I'll show you what it looked like. Here.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
You're gonna show.
I'm gonna show. Yeah, go ahead.
So while Sean gets his evidence that isn't evidence.
This is the way. Yeah. This is the way he scoops the coffee. They can't hear me.
They can't hear you.
All right, you could either do this, right? Switch to one. You could either be a. What'd you do? You hit black. You racist. What are you doing?
We're back.
All right, here we go. You could either do this, right? You could either do this with the scooper. This is a tablespoon. 1, 2. This guy takes this. Or just takes the whole thing, our house, in the middle of the street, and just, where's the top? It's over there. Just dumps it in.
First off, I don't do that.
Yes, he does do that. He does that all the time. Woo! Woo! Give me this. Let me get this out of here.
My
Yeah.
cup doesn't fit. Yeah. Either way, Sean makes terrible coffee. But no, look, as Sean was saying, like the narrative has to be upheld at all costs, and this is going to go away.
Unbelievable.
This is going to go away in about 2 minutes. You have the Milwaukee DA talking about how the people that he defers from these prosecutions
Pours it right in
because of there are 6 people dead in Wisconsin right now because of equity, because of the principles of equity.
Give me that cup. Give me that cup.
No.
Yes. Give me that cup. I want to take a picture of how light the coffee is so everyone can see this. Yeah. Jennifer Roman says 1 tablespoon for 2 cups. I even make it stronger than that.
1 tablespoon for 2.
Listen, there was the cup marker on there was at 10. I put 9.5 scoops in there. That's strong. If I had left that in there, it would have overflowed. It would have been like a lava when I walked in here this morning. Yeah, like a volcano. You tell, the coffee's not strong enough, and then you continue to pour. 3/4 of the cup is half and half.
I like it light.
Oh yeah, I could tell.
Like my coffee, like I like my women.
There it is. Yeah, guys out of it. Yeah, 1 tablespoon for each cup. I almost did that. You do 3 tablespoons per cup.
Because
Michelle Christine, smart. She's smart. Barry's also smart.
No,
Barry's very smart.
Barry says that it's wrong.
No. Barry is very smart because, with the Halloween, he did a great job. A lot of people were like, Captain Hook. I was like, no. Much better, Captain,
Captain Weak Coffee.
That's not Captain Weak Coffee. I'm up, I'm awake, I'm going crazy.
If you were captaining the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria with this coffee, you would have never made it to the Bahamas.
I made it to the Bahamas, and I didn't captain the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I captained the Pearl of Color, and we made it to Tortuga.
That's not a real
story.
story.
You don't like Pirates of the Caribbean. I
don't
forgot.
like Pirates of the
Caribbean. I don't like Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's a really bad movie.
It's an incredible movie. It's fake. It's like we're not even doing a Christmas show and you're acting like the Grinch. It's unbelievable. I can't believe
I've been awake for 17 minutes.
Yeah, that's not my problem.
Back to Jacob
Blake. I slept for 3.5 hours. Woo! Let's go. Yeah. Back to Jacob Blake.
I did enjoy that 2 a.m. text message I got from you.
What was it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. FLOP.
Yes. Just
slop.
A little slop, little damage control.
Little damage control because some people aren't as good at this as we are.
Oh, man.
But it's a great morning.
It's
Thanksgiving
a great morning.
Eve, everybody.
Andy Whitman says maybe you should have some pizza with your coffee. Well, come down, Andy.
Come on down, Andy. Andy Whitman, the guy who keeps a pizza in his trunk.
he's like Uber Eats. You never know.
I'll let Andy Whitman tell that story when he's on the show. I'm sure he'll be on the show at some point.
Andy Whitman is great.
We got to get all these politicians on here before they're sworn in.
Yeah.
While they're still regular people.
Mm-hmm.
That way he can piss off Shoshana.
Yeah. Oh God. I feel bad for Shoshana. Because
I do too.
Because she's apparently.
I feel even worse if she has a mirror.
I was told that she's rattled. Something's wrong. She's a little upset. I thought all she wanted was attention. So I was being nice. I was generous. I wanted to give back. So I gave her some attention. And now she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this Suffolk County legislature. Good. Don't do it. Stay the hell away. Save yourself the trouble. Save yourself the humiliation.
No.
No. Stay home, save lives. Okay, that's the way that's going to
No,
go.
she's like the Miami Marlins of Suffolk County politics.
He's like beating up on her.
It's like the Orioles. It's like playing the Jets.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got the Jets on our schedule twice this year.
2 wins.
No. Well, Kristen Robinson's like the Jets.
Kristen Robinson's like the Jets because she's non-competitive and not smart.
Joe Flacco, University of Delaware.
He was more competitive than the Mormon that we have playing quarterback.
Well, good. It's not like he didn't.
Zach Wilson, not like a second-round pick. It's great.
It's not like you wasted $60 million on him.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. So Kevin could use his.
He's
coffee
the only guy from Utah not named Osmond or Romney.
Barry is saying you should have used your coffee for the Hot Ones challenge. You could have used something for that, like an IV maybe, or like a defibrillator,
or a different tongue,
or maybe like just not the hot sauce.
Yeah, I could have used ketchup.
All right, Blake.
Once again, guys, if you guys came down to the Hot Ones thing, thank you all for coming down.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of donations for Long Island Cares, and you got some entertainment because my favorite part of the Hot Ones thing, we didn't talk about it on Monday. My favorite part of Hot Ones was all the people who were like, it's not that hot. Oh. And then I walked around with the bomb, and then their faces melted off.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Sam.
Yeah, that's right. I remember people walking around and like I was crying and Kevin was like still red and I saw like other people crying and I'm like, well, people getting like teary-eyed in this place? And you're like, no, they're just trying the hot sauce.
Yeah, well, I wanted to look, misery enjoys company.
Barry says Hot Ones too. I'm in for Hot Ones too. I got to be honest with you.
You can take my spot, Barry.
I did the whole thing and it was brutal for a little bit of time, but I got to say like it was kind of fun.
I mean, it was the opposite of fun.
I was getting dizzy. It's like, oh my goodness, not good.
If I was captured by terrorists,
that's how
they wanted state secrets.
That's it.
They would just need to make me eat the bomb sauce, and I would give up everything.
I always tell you, if the terrorists capture me, or if the FBI captures me, and they want to learn state secrets, or anything, nope. Not even feet. Just put me on the Belt Parkway. Stick me in traffic on the belt. I'll talk. All right. I'll talk.
Just put me on conduit, please.
Oh, my goodness. Or feet. Yeah, feet's true. Yeah, James Comey could just take his shoe off and stick it on the desk. And
dude, and he's like 6'11". Imagine how big his feet are.
Ew. Him and his inside the woods with the trees. Hey, Trey, in the wood, is it? Oh, man. Americans' economic worries rise to pandemic high. So the pandemic is essentially over.
Who? My phone has gone off 3 times.
I
have 2 friends. Heather is asleep.
No, it's a group text. Here. It's a group text.
Is it Spud?
It's a group text about the issue that we were just talking about. They're responding. It's a couple of people. But here's Americans' economic worries rise to pandemic high. It's a Gallup poll. Gallup, obviously, a polling agency, expert organization, whatever you want to call them, across the United States. Americans' economic worries rose to a pandemic high this month, according to Gallup, but the level of concern still remains relatively low compared to historical trends. 26% of Americans told Gallup in a new poll that an economic-related concern is the top problem facing the country. You don't say, stop texting me during the live stream. What is – you think I'm going to answer? Let's see. Yeah, let's see.
Answer the text during the live.
Okay. I'm just going to write this here. I can't do this during the stream. We know them. Don't worry about it. A lot of laughing emojis, too.
It's good to know that the people in this group chat that spend all the time with us
have no idea that we're doing this right now.
Have no idea that we're doing
They're like, oh, they get free. They're free. They could talk. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. 26% of Americans told Gallup in a new poll that the economic-related concern is the top problem facing the country. That's me. Oh, no, it's not me. It's another text coming in. Here we are. She said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. It's only 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. It's not like we do this all the time.
Heather, go back to bed.
Go back to bed. 10% of those polled said the economy in general is the top problem in the United States, while 7% cited the high cost of living and inflation, and 5% said unemployment/jobs. Concerns over the federal budget deficit and the gap between the rich and the poor, wage issues, fuel and oil prices, and lack of money each received 1% in the poll. By contrast, 74% of respondents named a non-economic issue as the top problem the United States is facing. But let's be honest. You go to the supermarket, you buy your Thanksgiving food, you buy all your fixins and all the stuff for your Thanksgiving meal that you're getting ready for. And hopefully you guys are getting ready for it and you're going to have a great Thanksgiving this year with you and your family. You see all of this, you go to the store, you buy it, all of a sudden you realize you're paying more money to buy less stuff. More money to buy less stuff.
Look,
More money to buy less stuff. That sounds like inflation to me.
I worked in a lot of meat departments in my life. I come from, my mother did, my family friends, they all did. And for years, turkeys were always 29, 39 cents a pound. Yesterday I saw 99 cents a pound. And Peppermint Patty had the nerve to say, oh, it's only $1 more. First off, that's not how per pound works, you moron.
Right.
I guess that's what happens when you have people buying your food.
Jen Psaki.
Jen Psaki.
Ain't no circle back, girl. Ain't no circle
It's like
back,
I want
girl.
Kaylee McEnany to send her a text and just go, hi, you're really bad at this.
You want me to show you how to do this?
Want me to come in one day?
We'll do a little, I'll do a little training, hands-on.
A little hands-on
training. Little hands-on. Andrew Cuomo's favorite type of training is hands-on training. I'm going to go right in for you. You can do whatever you'd like.
I'm Italian, not a creep.
He says I'm not perverted. I'm Italian, and he's like that. He's perverted.
Speaking of stupid Kennedys, did you see Maria Shriver's tweet yesterday? I'm going to assume you didn't because you're not a weirdo like me. Maria Shriver yesterday said that she had to explain to her son, that it was not safe to go out because angry white men with guns were allowed to just shoot you in the street. Now, two things here. Number one, that's absurd.
Yeah, it's not true.
Actually, I'm sorry, three things. That's absurd.
It's adding things.
Number two, Maria Shriver's son is 27 years old.
Right.
So why can't he just turn on the damn television himself? Number three, isn't her uncle Ted Kennedy?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Her uncle Ted Kennedy left a woman in the backseat of his car for 16 hours to drown. So what she should be telling her son is, son, when you get married, don't leave your 22-year-old mistress in a car underwater for 16 hours and you'll be okay. Ted Kennedy, kill the woman.
Backseat of the car.
And Maria Shriver. Who is so brilliant.
So brilliant.
That she married Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be back.
Her sister, so brilliant, married Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, yes, of course.
How did this family ever run a decade?
I don't know.
I don't understand the Kennedys. They're a very odd bunch because there's 1,000 of them.
And there's a curse too.
I don't think there's a curse. I think they're just all degenerates.
Oh, there might be a curse.
Well, the one died in the war.
You don't believe in curses.
I don't believe in curses.
Yeah, that's weird.
If a lot of people die in one family, that's not a curse. That's a
curse. Ask Rasputin, whatever his name was, the guy from Anastasia.
Rasputin?
Yeah. He's the one who cursed the Romanov. He cursed them, Anastasia. You don't know Rasputin?
I know who Rasputin is. He didn't curse anybody.
Yes, he cursed the Romanovs. He absolutely cursed the Romanovs. He sold his soul to the devil, cursed the Romanovs. That's what happened in the Soviet Union, Russia, wherever the hell it was.
Well, first off, that didn't happen. It happened in
Russia. It happened in Russia.
Now we've got to give Sean.
It happened in Russia.
A history lesson.
You didn't even know who Rasputin was 5 minutes ago.
Of course,
you didn't even know it was a curse.
Of course, there's no curse.
There's absolutely a curse. The Curse of Romanovs. Have you seen the movie, the Disney movie Anastasia? It's a great movie.
Bro, you're 10 years old.
Yeah, well, you so totally rock, Squirt. Give me some fin. Noggin. Dude. We're having fun this morning. Because we're goofing around.
I really want to talk about this.
You want to talk about the Senate stuff?
I want to talk about the Senate.
Well, then let's talk about the Senate then. We got a half hour left. Let's talk about the Senate.
The Senate is up for grabs.
It's up for grabs. Like Cuomo's interns.
Now, judging by this poll, look
at this. See, there is a ghost. The door's opening by itself.
That's not a ghost. That's a Steve.
It's a ghost. Hi, Steve.
It's Steve.
Yo, your face when you saw that door, you're oh my God, there's actually a curse.
There's actually a ghost. And the show has gone off the rails. No, but this.
You made a face that was scarier than when you ate the hot sauce. You were like, oh my God.
This poll from 270. From 270 to win.com.
Okay.
It has Arizona as a toss-up with Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
Now, first off, that's incorrect. That's got to be lean red.
Oh, it's definitely lean red.
It's got to be lean red.
Got to be lean red.
And I know these numbers are soft because they have Marco Rubio in Florida as a lean red.
Yeah, he's not losing.
He's not losing Florida.
I'm not.
They have Raphael Warnock as a toss-up in Georgia.
I'm not a huge Rubio fan, but I mean, he's not losing.
He's not going to lose.
He's not losing. Not with DeSantis on the same ticket.
Not with DeSantis on the same ticket.
No chance.
They have Raphael Warnock in Georgia.
You want to read that name again?
Warnock.
Yeah, you said Warnock.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. A guy who shouldn't be in the Senate Thank you, Lynn Wood.
Oh, speaking of Lynn Wood,
what a piece of shit!
What a dirtbag!
What a dirtbag!
Guy kept Kyle Rittenhouse in jail for like 87
so that he
days.
could fundraise off of him.
Yeah, so he can grift off of him. Hey,
oh, wait a minute!
My client's in jail.
Wait a minute! You mean Lynn Wood latches on to contrived notions?
Yeah,
in the public sphere and then makes money off of it?
They're like,
wait a minute, when else might he have done that?
People are like,
with the fucking with the voting machines.
Yeah, the guy he comes out and he said someone goes, well, that's not the Lynn Wood that I know. I'm like, really? Because it sounds like the Lynn Wood that I know.
It sounds like the same Lynn Wood
told people not to vote in Georgia.
That threw Richard Jewell under the bus back in '96.
Yeah, so this guy came out in there and left Kyle Rittenhouse in jail.
He left him in jail. The fundraise off.
Another one who did that too. One of the other lawyers.
One of the, but Lynn Wood's the famous one.
Lynn Wood's the one with that. You know, and it's like,
and he wears those stupid hats. Indiana Jones called, right? You can only wear those hats if you're Indiana Jones. Those like, or the guy that gets eaten by the Velociraptor in Jurassic Park.
Oh, what's his name? Barry now says that you've been seeing ghosts since the second Hot Wing. Barry's on a roll today. I'm going to put that up.
Sorry, Jen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jen.
Watch your mouth. The moms are watching. The kids are watching on the couch. Let's go, Brandon, 6 years old.
I've heard some of these mothers.
They have no right to talk, huh?
All right. I have dealt with you North Shore mothers as a child.
So Jen's not a North Shore mom.
Jen's not a North Shore. She's a West Babylon.
She's the West Babylon moms are scary.
Once again, this is why I stay on my side of Railroad Avenue. I stay in Lindenhurst. I leave West Babylon to you.
Oh, look. Mac. You guys sound stupid. I wonder who this is. I know exactly who that is. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you when you're older. I know exactly who that is. You gotta be a little more creative with your fake profiles. Jeez.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Donkey.
Did you know the big Senate race I'm looking at?
Donkey.
The big Senate race I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Is in Ohio. Rob Portman is retiring.
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid red seat, they're saying.
Yeah.
Which means it's a definitely red seat.
It's a definitely red seat.
And my boy is running for that seat. J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance,
who a lot of people won't be big fans of because he wasn't a MAGA guy at first. But if you know the Hillbilly Elegy story, he's us. He's one of us.
Oops, I keep doing that.
He's just a guy who came from nothing, made it to Yale. If you guys haven't seen Hillbilly Elegy or haven't read the book, it is one of the most inspiring stories ever. J.D. Vance, I don't care what he says. I'll put my full weight behind this guy simply because of what he went through in life. Mother was a drug addict, made it all, went into the Marines, went to Yale Law School. He's a fantastic person. He's really smart. You guys, if you don't know who J.D. Vance is, there's been a bunch of stories done about him after Hillbilly Elegy came out. Ron Howard made a movie about the book. You guys should definitely, if you got some time this weekend, check out Hillbilly Elegy if you haven't seen it yet. It's a fantastic story. And if Hillbilly, the best part about Hillbilly Elegy was that it was dubbed like the Make America Great Again story. So when it first came out, everybody loved it.
Right.
And then once it got connotated with Donald Trump, which it shouldn't have, and
it got hated.
It got hated.
Right.
So Amy Adams, who plays his mother in the movie, should have won an Oscar for her performance. She was fantastic. Really, guys, if you guys don't know who J.D. Vance is, he's running for Senate in Ohio.
By the way, Mac wants to tell you that Kyle Rittenhouse is being controlled by a deep stater who Lynn Wood is exposing. So that's what we're supposed to believe here. Now, I'm looking at this list of Senate races that are up, and I see that they think Lisa Murkowski is safe. That is because I have not yet moved to Alaska.
Well, I think I was looking at that. And I think that means that the seat is safely red.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
She is safe.
I know she's safe, but that's because I'm not over there. I'm over there. I'm going to primary her in an igloo.
Well, I think no. I think they're saying that the seat is safely red, not so much the person in the seat.
No, the person's safe right now. But when I go to Alaska, I'm going to primary her in an igloo with 4 huskies, and she's never going to be able to get a word in. You understand that? We're going to go dog sledding over in Alaska. Lisa Murkowski's not safe. What's interesting?
Pat Leahy in Vermont. He's not running for re-election, probably because
he's old.
Probably because he was first elected to the Senate in 1975.
Oh man!
You know, when there were 5 cable channels. How the hell Who wants the same job for 50 years?
Pat Leahy.
He's the fourth in line for the presidency.
Yes. He's the Senate pro tem. That's
a little
wild.
Trivia question for you. Whenever somebody asks you who was after Nancy Pelosi in the line of succession,
The Senate pro tem.
the Senate pro, which just means the oldest person in the Senate.
Did you know that Democrats are in a panic?
Of course, they're in a panic. They have a dead man and quite possibly the most boring person alive as their vice president.
Do you understand that they're holding crisis meetings? When's the last time you've ever heard the left hold crisis meetings?
And more importantly, I want to know who's running the crisis meetings.
Yeah. Oh, well, who do you think? So let's look. Let's play a game. Democrats are in a panic after a Quinnipiac poll released last week showed Biden's approval rating has plummeted. Senate Democrats are compelled to hold a crisis meeting. The Daily Mail, Dan Bongino calls them the longest headlines ever. You ever realize the Daily Mail headlines are half the story?
Yes.
it's like a 4-line headline. After several months of party infighting, could you imagine that? They're fighting with each other. I couldn't imagine that. After several months of party infighting, damaging media reports about Vice President Kamala Harris, a.k.a. Willie Brown's true toy, and devastating Democratic losses in Virginia. Quote, Senate Democrats huddled with pollsters and advisors last week to try to assess the situation. Among those in attendance is reportedly former senior White House advisor to Biden, Anita Dunn. A source familiar with the meetings told The Hill that pollsters' level of concern was, quote, extremely high. Senate Democrat Steering Committee Chairwoman Amy Klobuchar, another one who's one of the most boring people on planet Earth. You cannot find a person who is more boring than Amy Klobuchar.
She's quite possibly the most Minnesota person that's ever lived.
She's worth, because sometimes Minnesota, you know, like I like Minnesota, but like
there's too many O's in that word.
This Minnesota, but it's like Amy Klobuchar, like I don't know. I just feel like I want to eat gravel when she talks. I just want to stuff my face with asphalt. That's how she makes me feel.
That's because she doesn't drink.
It's not. Listen,
she
Trump doesn't drink.
She very famously doesn't. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, but Kavanaugh. What kind of beer do you drink? And she's like, I don't drink. All right. Well,
when Kavanaugh said that, I remember watching that, just thinking, oh man, you had 100 senators and you picked that one.
You picked the one that doesn't drink.
You picked the one that very publicly doesn't drink.
Does not drink. She says here, Amy Klobuchar allegedly organized the meeting with the Democratic pollsters. We were just talking about how we're going to message. Mostly it was talking about Build Back Better. The Hill reported one Democratic senator who requested anonymity stated, quote, the Democratic base is very frustrated and very depressed about our inability to just get things done. And I think it's interesting that when we say it all the time, that we have them on the ropes and they got them on their heels and we got them, you know, in a position that maybe they're running, maybe they're not, you know, that they're not in such a safe position anymore, that the Democrats are indeed worried. And it's something that it's something that we don't get to say often. It's something that we don't get to experience often, that we're pushing back on the Democrats and they're starting to get a little softened up and we're starting to take some ground back. You can see that starting to happen. You could read articles like this that'll be in the show notes. That's from Greg Jarrett, thegregjarrett.com. And you hear that the Democrats and their base is frustrated and depressed. You know, a year ago, they were not frustrated. They were not depressed. They were excited. Joe Biden. Oh, we won. Trump lost. Ha ha ha. They're celebrating in the streets. They're running around. They're telling everybody to get over it. Now they're frustrated and depressed. So listen, I can't remember after 2016, you know, the years of 2016 to 2020, that the Trump supporters, that conservatives were ever depressed and moping around. I mean, even when the damn president was under investigation for Russia. Okay? Russia. Even when that was going on, even when impeachment 1.0 was going on, even when Nancy Pelosi ripped up the State of the Union, even when Bob Mueller came in there and testified that the color of his underwear was outside of his purview in his investigation, even when all of that took place, I cannot remember when the Trump voter was ever, quote, depressed. I'm so depressed. Maybe that's because our president, who came out there, used to rally every couple of months and get everyone excited. Joe Biden can't do that. He can't lead. He can't inspire. There is nothing. The only thing that man inspires me to do is take a very long nap. This is the quick 30 minutes. You lay down, you back up, boom, you're ready to rock and roll. During election season, that's all I did. I lived on quick 30s all day long. 30 minutes, up and out. 30 more minutes, up and out of here.
We basically just found a couch.
Anywhere there was a couch or anything that looked comfortable, that's where we slept for a little bit of time. We got back up. But Sleepy Joe, right? This guy don't inspire me to do anything. Barely inspires me. Come on, man. I got hairy legs. If the kids will rub my leg down the pole.
He inspires me to be close to a toilet.
That's it.
Just in case I have to shit myself at the Vatican. But the fact that the Democrats are worried about, the fact that the Democrats are genuinely worried. This is supposed to be the honeymoon period. They say that you only have 18 months of real governing as president of the United States because, after the first year, you're getting ready for the midterms, and then you get some time, and then the primaries start. So your first year and the 6 months after your first year and the 6 months after the midterms of your first presidency, that is your governing time. That is where you can actually get things done and you're not worried about re-election. And the fact that they're already freaking, they've been, and look, let's be honest, these articles are coming out now, but people have known this for months.
Well, it's been a while. It's been a while.
People have known this for months that the Democrats are in trouble. Their bench is very, very thin. Who do they have on their bench? Pete Buttigieg?
Edge.
They have Pete Buttigieg on their bench, who took a 2-month paternity break.
Yeah, Edge.
Like, I don't know why. He just took off for 2 months.
Didn't they say he was the one who technically won the Iowa caucus? They finally said that. Oh, keep going. I got to get something.
You got to get some?
Speaking of the Iowa caucus. Yeah.
All right, so maybe Sean's going to get some corn or look, but their bench is very thin. There are no there are no governors up that inspire anybody. There are no young senators. There's nobody in the administration. There's no cabinet members that inspire anybody. This is just Obama 2.0.
Yeah, it's Obama 2.0.
He rehired everybody from the Obama administration, and the Obama administration is what got the Democrats into so much trouble that Donald Trump was elected in the first place.
So here's the deal. We know who won the Iowa caucus. Finally, it was Pete Buttigieg. We still don't know who won this football game. Thank you, Smithtown News. We have no idea still who won the Smithtown East versus West game. It's like one of the it's a question that's gonna go forever unanswered, I think.
It's like the chicken and the egg.
Thank you, Smithtown News, for once again proving, oh my gosh, they shouldn't be talking about education. Yeah, and then we can't count to 14. Okay, cool. 14. We'll take our cues from you.
14.
Very
cannot
good.
count to
cannot count to 14. Interesting. So the Senate map looks good. I mean, we could flip.
I wonder if we still sound stupid.
We probably sound stupid. The Senate map looks good. There's a couple of toss-ups that are in there.
I mean, they're saying that Wisconsin is a toss-up. No, it isn't.
No, Ron Johnson.
That might be a toss-up. I'll give him that.
Sean Parnell just dropped out of that race too, which is upsetting. I like him, but he just dropped out last night. Yeah.
Richard Burr. That's not a toss-up. That's gonna stay red.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada. I'm curious about. They got Nevada as a Catherine Musto.
Catherine Masto, yeah.
All right, so the most irrelevant senator in history. She's probably going to lose.
They have Pat Toomey as a toss-up in Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania is going to go firmly red. If New Jersey is any indication, I think Pennsylvania is going to go firmly red.
If there are more people like Lauren Boebert in Colorado, then Michael Bennett could be in trouble.
Yeah, well, they have that listed as a toss-up, right? Michael Bennett's listed as a lean blue.
Like Michael Bennett's a lean blue. Yeah, that's probably fair.
But you know what? Get some Lauren Boebert up on that in that Colorado
Lauren Boebert,
Senate,
who coined the phrase the Jihad Squad.
What a great. And then some of the Trump era has led to some really amazing nicknames. You got DeSantis calling the Biden administration the Brandon administration. You got the Jihad Squad.
The fact that he did that press conference
in Brandon,
Florida,
incredible.
And then when asked about it, was like, Brandon's a great place.
Brandon's a great place.
Dude,
let's go, Brandon.
He is so president-y.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to be eventually. I think in 28 it's going to happen.
He is so president-y.
He's running. He already declared that he's running for re-election in Florida, obviously. And I think the latest polling has him up 13 points. I mean, it's not even going to be close. And that's how you know the media is failing, because the media has an agenda. They have an angle to push, and they're pushing that angle, and nobody's listening, right? If the media still had the power that they used to have, if they still have the influence that they used to have, if they were still if they were still big players in the court of public opinion, Kyle Rittenhouse would have been guilty, right? Kyle Rittenhouse would have been guilty because they convicted him 5 minutes after he shot Rosenbaum. His gun was still smoking, and they were convicting Kyle Rittenhouse.
It's incredible what they did, and they're still doing it.
And they're still doing it. The ruling's out, and now like Nadler, pants. Who wears his pants up to his neckline?
I can't tell if his pants are holding his tits down or his pants up.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening with Jerry Nadler, but Jerry Nadler is like, we need to investigate. The DOJ needs to investigate this ruling. Watch the video. He got smacked in the head with a skateboard. There's no other claim you can make in that incident besides self-defense. And then here's Jerry Nadler, the Penguin from Batman, having to chime in.
Jerry Nadler is one of those people that he looks worse after the gastric bypass surgery.
Yeah, he does.
It's like lap band 1, Jerry Nadler 0.
Yeah, he don't look good, that's for sure.
It's like when Sharpton got in and he started to look like an alien. He had like that neck thing going on.
He's got like that turkey, that gizzard.
Gobble, gobble. I mean, look, I know I got 2 necks, but at least they're proportionate.
Yeah, I mean, Sharpton's is kind of like, it like juts out like a feather. It's crazy.
Yeah, he looks worse after the gastric bypass surgery.
He looks terrible.
But this like you started the show by saying it's all about the narrative. They're going to keep this alive, just like they're going to keep February 30th alive.
Yes, they're trying to breathe life into that fire for a long time.
They're going to keep that alive. We just found out more stupid indictments are coming down. Roger Stone and
Alex Jones. Alex Jones is going to plead the 5th. He says he's going to plead the 5th.
I need to see Alex Jones testify before Congress.
What I want to see is Steve Bannon testify before Congress.
Bannon's going to be good, but I need to hear
Alex Jones pleading the 5th.
Start talking all red and yelling and shit.
You're turning the frogs gay.
You people are putting fluoride in the water. They're turning the freaking frogs gay.
Turn the freaking frogs gay. I would love to see.
I love Alex Jones, but it's so funny because you know what? I talked a lot of crap about Alex Jones for a long time.
He's right,
and I think I got to eat some crow on this one because he seems like maybe he's not right, but he's closer to right than wrong.
He's got a better track record than CNN. They talk about all these subpoenas. They're like, they're subpoenaing pro-Trump groups. I'm just gonna say, let's just have a conversation.
If there's anyone watching this that knows a Democrat congressman or anything,
please
subpoena us.
Please, I would love to go testify in front of Congress.
I would love.
You don't understand.
To have a chat with Liz Cheney.
Oh my God, you don't understand.
I would love to talk to Liz Cheney.
C-SPAN's gonna get the highest ratings it's ever got if you put us in that Senate chamber or the Senate. The House chamber. The January 6th committee. We're gonna sit. Oh, God. Throw me the subpoena. Let's go.
Please subpoena me.
Subpoena me. Let's go.
It's going to be hell. First off,
you think I'm going to sit down in that Congress and not answer every single question like Donald Trump? Do you really think that's what I wouldn't do?
You think I'm not lighting a cigarette 10 minutes into that?
So write me a ticket.
Excuse me, sir. You can't smoke in here. So write me a ticket. And by the way, Miss Cheney, has your father shot anyone in the face recently? And is he still looking for those weapons of mass destruction, or did he just make that up?
Chairman Nadler. I really don't think you're supposed to wear your pants that high, And
Mr. Kinzinger, do you plan on crying anytime soon? I know you like to cry in public because you are a little baby bitch boy.
Is Ilhan Omar on the committee?
No.
Oh, that's a shame because I would really love to be like, hey, how's your brother? I mean, husband. I mean, it's the same thing.
I mean, there aren't too many favorites on that committee, which is upsetting because I would love.
Schiff is?
I'm not sure.
Swalwell is.
If I would just be like,
is he?
Literally, I would just. Everything I told Eric Swalwell,
Fang,
I would just look him dead in the face and go, well, I guess Fang's going to find out about this. We all know how we like to talk in bed, and you sleep in bed with Chinese spies.
It's funny because people are like, oh, I heard that they're subpoenaing pro-Trump groups. Are you worried? And I'm like, I shouldn't be worried. It's them. They subpoena us. They better be worried.
Seriously, if you guys have ever seen the videos of Jimmy Hoffa testifying before the Senate in the 60s, where he's leaning back in the chair, cracking jokes, everybody behind him laughing. That's me. It would 100% be me.
First off, the whole thing.
I'm just gonna those little Deer Park bottles of water. I'll be ashing in those things the whole time.
I'll be shooting them across the chamber.
It'll be hilarious.
It would really be.
They're gonna have. What are they gonna? Really, what could they do? They're gonna hold this in contempt of Congress.
I hold myself in contempt.
Why should you be any
Why
different?
should you be any different?
Liar, liar.
Liar, liar. We can't go there.
We're gonna squeeze a liar, liar reference into every show.
Every single show.
Into every single show. Guys, like Sean said before, please do us a favor and make sure you guys go over and subscribe on all the platforms right up there. Loud Majority US, YouTube, hit the notification bell, subscribe. There are some big things coming.
Huge.
And you know that we're shadow banned on most places. I know we're shadow banned on Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram at Loud Majority. You guys are really, really gonna not want to miss what we've got coming up in the month of December.
Oh, I mean, there's some. I don't want to say.
I don't want to say it yet because we're still waiting for a little bit of the details. Some people in the chat might know.
Yep.
If you do, go ahead, spoil it. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But if you guys know what's happening, you're going to see some people you know.
You're going to see a lot of people
You're going to see a lot of people you know.
With people you also know.
With people you also know.
Right. Dr. Fauci.
In Arizona.
It's
going to be fantastic, and I don't want any of you guys to miss out.
It's going to be
so
huge.
just like and subscribe across all platforms. You know where to find us. Sean's TikTok, all those. Captain Deplorable. Make sure you guys
speaking of Captain Deplorable, there's something exciting on that front that's coming soon too.
Yes.
There's two things that are exciting that are happening.
Strange animal. That's what I know.
There's two things that are very excited that I'm very excited to share with you regarding the Captain Deplorable front. Look at this hair. I got to get this cut. I mean, this is like this one hanging out right there. But yeah, well, yours is at least. I got like this whole like thing going on back here. But we call that the flow.
You look like a lacrosse player.
That's okay. They got the flow.
I had the flow.
Lacrosse players flow. It's fine.
You should have seen the douchey flow I had in high school.
Oh, I could only imagine. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss what happens in December. So go ahead and get yourself logged in, subscribed, and notified, and all that. The podcast, again, we will not comply. Those numbers have been ticking up, so there's people that are listening across the country.
Does anyone know?
What? Does anyone know? Oh, Dana knows. Yes. Jen is excited.
Oh, Barry.
Barry doesn't like being in the know.
Oh, Barry doesn't like not being in the know.
I love how Barry is.
Well, like it'll be in Phoenix.
He gets the ire of Kevin all because he dressed up like Captain Deplorable.
He does.
He's the greatest. I love
thrilled.
Barry. Thank you for that flag, by the way, Barry.
Yes, Barry. Thank you for that. We
have to find some room.
We need more walls.
We need,
But, we got right before Christmas, something big's happening. We just got some big news on what's happening.
Barry says deplorable Santa. Is he going to be Captain Deplorable? Oh, speaking of which, I definitely have to do Santa Trump. I got to get a suit, a Santa suit with the wig on and just kind of with the beard and just ho, ho, ho. You know, we had the Democrats. I didn't really want Jerry Nadler to sit on my lap. It was a really tough time. We're going to give them coal, lots of coal.
We know they hate coal. I'm giving coal to all the Democrats. We know they hate coal. I'm giving them all the coal. I'm getting it from Joe Manchin. We're going to make that work somehow. I'm going to leave a bag of coal on AOC's porch.
Oh, can we really actually do that? And by coal, I mean crap.
Yeah.
It's a biodegradable fuel.
He called the poop.
What? What did you do that?
From Billy Madison.
Oh.
It's poop again.
Oh, man. So yes, please go to our other platforms. Head over to youtube.com/Long Island Loud Majority, loudmajorityus.com, Operation Cold Drop. Guess what, Kevin? I have a Santa suit. Barry has got a Santa suit, so I guess we know what he's going to be doing. We will not comply from Half Moon, New York. Well, hello, Half Moon, New York. Maximus Deplorabilis. That's his name. I love it. Yeah, Maximus Deplorabilis. Look at this. Look, he's like a Roman. Maximus Deplorabilis. That's great. I'm excited about you. He's like a deplorable.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty funny. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with him. If it does, it's a little less funny.
Look what Andy Whitman said. Saddle, 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 saddle.
We got a silly show on We the People Wednesday.
Dominic Thorne is in the chat too.
Dom
Thorne. Dom, I hope you saw Hot Ones where I said you and Vicky Palladino were the tie for my favorite candidates that we supported. I was my favorite people to hang out with was Dom Thorne and Vicky Bella.
Rumor has it that Rob Clarko is so stressed about his loss that he's lost even more hair.
Is that even possible? I think he has less hair than Andrew Garbarino.
I saw Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walking around on his scalp.
I got one. Was a one small step for man. Come on, man. One small step for. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I got hairy legs on the moon. The kids used to.
Don't talk about the moon with Joe Biden. He probably ended up pulling his ass out. Yeah, we're gonna.
There was a video. I don't know if you saw it. I gotta show it to you. There was like this little girl. She was being held, and Biden went in for the sniff, and she blocked him. She was like, no.
By the way,
not today, Satan.
Did anyone? Sean showed me this yesterday. Joe Biden reading the teleprompter.
Oh, end of quote. Oh my goodness.
When you read a teleprompter, it says end of quote. Like in words, in parentheses. You're not supposed to read it. Joe Biden read end of quote. Just Google Joe Biden end of quote. This man has been reading teleprompters
his whole life.
His whole life.
He's been a politician for a while.
And
this guy literally read.
He's been in politics since before Ted Kennedy was a murderer.
If you watch Anchorman, right? If you watch Anchorman, we go, I'm Ron Burgundy. So it was one of those situations with Joe Biden. He's like, yeah, we're going to make a lot of change. End of quote. Like, what? So he's reading the teleprompter verbatim. Democrats are holding crisis meetings because he's unpopular and his vice president is less popular. And inflation's off the charts.
Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. I mean, look, guys, life is good to be. It is good to be under the big tent right now.
Jackie DiLorenzo from Connecticut says, "Oh my God, he didn't say that." Yes, he did. She understands it's the truth, but it's so hard to believe that he actually did that.
He really did it. He said, "End of quote."
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So again, in Arizona, Kirsten Sinema, she's running in 2024, but there's an article here that I'm going to throw in the show notes too that her popularity is crashing among her own party. The Democrats don't like moderates anymore. Same with Manchin. The thing is, Republicans in West Virginia will vote for Manchin.
Well, I think that look, I see Manchin switching parties.
I don't know if he switches to Republican. I think he switches I think he does what Bernie Sanders does.
It's a red plus 35 district.
Yeah.
District state. But what are you doing? What are you still doing, Joe?
Oh, Pat T with a great idea. Since Joe Biden likes to read the teleprompter verbatim, she says here, can somebody sneak a Let's Go Brandon and FJB onto his teleprompter? Could you imagine? Oh, come on, man. We're doing Build Back Better. Let's go, Brandon.
That's what he would have to resign the next day.
That's the way to get him out.
That's the way to get him out. That way we can get Montel Williams a side piece.
Yeah, Willie Brown's. I see Andrew Wilkow. This is so funny. Willie Brown's chew toy. Someone called up on him to show that, you're doing this because she's a woman of color. He's like, no, I'm doing this because she slept her way into politics. That's exactly what Kamala Harris did. We all know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it. Okay, it's true. Everybody does it. She slept with more people than anybody thought possible. Okay, but here we are coming up on 8:00 this morning. It was a funny show. It was a goofy show. It's Thanksgiving Eve. Everybody's getting ready to eat like a maniac tomorrow. And for those who are less fortunate, and if you guys need any help,
if you have time, just there's Facebook groups all over the place. If you guys can give a couple hours, I know I'm going to be volunteering down at I believe East Islip Fire Department. I have to double check that early in the morning. Just give a couple hours. Before football starts, throw the turkey in, have somebody baste it, go, do the soup kitchen thing. People need some help this year. Everybody's hurting. People are hurting every year, but
now more so than ever, being exacerbated by inflation and this inept regime.
If you can, we'll try to make a post about places scattered across the island.
You know what? Actually, anybody in the chat, if you guys know of any places that are doing,
either text us or email us.
Text it, email it. We'll put up a post this evening about food pantries that are going to be serving dinners and whatnot tomorrow. That if we're able to get to for a little bit of time to go volunteer, it would be a nice way to give back on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we'll try to make a post a little bit later today in the afternoon. Once we get those, scatter them all across the island. From Valley Stream to Montauk, see which ones we can do.
See where we can go.
Like I said, you guys don't have to. Just if you have the time, come on down. I know I'm like I said, we're gonna be at some places and
Yeah, we'll
bouncing
we're
around.
trying to help out and just obviously on Thanksgiving give back.
And guys, you know what? People are gonna enjoy time with your families. All right, don't leave politics at the door.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows that people have been disinvited from Thanksgiving because of Trump, because of Biden, because vaccines, because
You spoke up at a school board meeting.
you spoke up at a school board meeting. Go,
Hey, what are you in for? I
Go
spoke up at a school board meeting.
be with your families. Watch the Lions lose because that's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
Watch them lose. Watch Dallas lose because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Not this year, but they'll probably lose on Thanksgiving. But just guys, enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, do yourselves a favor and just kind of take the day and chill and just be thankful for what you've got. Obviously, you know, there's a bunch of families in Wisconsin right now that are hurting, with this tragedy that just took place, and we offer thoughts and prayers to them. And as you know, it's just tough times right now. The economic conditions are not great. The unemployment situation is not great. The vaccine mandate situation is not great. And so let's just do our best to kind of give back and be there for one another until Friday. I think we're going to be here Friday of color, Black Friday. It's only a matter of time till that's racist, but 7 a.m. is the plan for Friday. I will be, I'm off, so I'll be here, I'll be here.
I'll be here at 7:15.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I pull in whenever the hell I want.
That's it. So it's like, so 7 a.m. Friday, we'll be back. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Look out for the interview with Jordan Verteber tonight. We're going to be posting that special content coming up tonight. And of course, until Friday, we have a nice holiday to celebrate. We got a lot of food to eat. We got a lot of people to help. And we got, it's We the People Wednesday. So it's time to repeat the 4 words that we repeat over and over and over again until the people in power get it or finally get the hell out of the way. And I want the chat to tell me what those 4 words are. There they go. Sandra Brown from Michigan is the first one to comment. And what time is it over in Michigan? It must be earlier over in Michigan than it is over here. I think it's an hour earlier over in Michigan. So Sandra, the first one to write, "We will not comply," this morning. Once again, over and over and over again, until the people in power finally get it or get the hell out of the way. We say these 4 words. We will not comply. We will see you Friday morning, 7 a.m. on Black Friday, Friday of color, whatever you want to call it. But we will see you then. Until that point, ladies and gentlemen, stop complying. Stop. Don't do it. Don't comply. Stop complying and stay loud.